Taylor?
Hello, buddy.
I mean, first of all, we'll start with the main event. Incredible performance by both guys.
Yeah.
But Volkanovski, you know, everyone's talking about his age, his chin. For him to come out and look basically as good as he ever has, give us your thoughts on his performance.
Yeah, I thought he looked incredible tonight. I don't ever remember Volk not having a good chin, and he's really not that old.
Were you surprised at how many shots, big shots, Diego was able to take and keep coming?
Yeah, fascinating thing. Niner, one of the production guys, was telling me during the fight that that Lopez was 5 inches taller, but only had a 1-inch reach advantage or something like that. Because I was surprised that Diego wasn't throwing more jabs and trying to stay on the outside and use his reach advantage a lot more. But you know, it was a good fight. Both guys, you know, dug deep, battled. And
obviously, look, whoever wins, wins. But for Volkanovski to win and become champion again, we remember how active he was when he first held the belt. For you personally, is it just cool that you know you have a guy who you can rely on anytime you need a champion to step up and fight?
Yeah, I mean, we don't have that many problems with guys. But there's no doubt about it that Volkanovski was one of the best ever. I mean, the guys like him and Pereira, and you know, they're always ready to fight and always willing to step in and do whatever it takes.
Paddy Pimblett, what a performance. You know, pretty much every question you could ask about that guy now answered. You know, he beat one of the best in the division in Michael Chandler. Give us your thoughts on his performance. What do we do with Chandler now and everything about that fight?
Yeah, people keep counting him out, but he keeps looking better and better and better every time he shows up. Yeah, Paddy Pimblett showed tonight that he is the real deal. Beating Michael Chandler and beating him the way that he did, I don't know how you can doubt the kid anymore.
It would seem likely that next fight out, he's going to get a big name opponent, right? And probably that would be the one that put him into title contention.
Well, tonight was a pretty big name opponent too. But yeah, he's in that spot now where he's going to be fighting top guys. Yeah.
I wanted to ask you one more question outside of tonight. It seems like the GFL is maybe dead on arrival. They were unable to put on their first events. I don't know about your thoughts about them, but do you ever look at the business of MMA, and is it a bit of a concern to you that sometimes these promotions are not able to give fighters a place to go after they're done in the UFC, or give them a place to go instead of the UFC? Does it concern you that the business of MMA suffers without these other promotions doing well?
Yeah, I don't know enough about the GFL to really speak on it, but this is, yeah, it's a lot harder than it looks. It's a lot harder than it looks. I don't know what else to say about that. I don't know enough about it.
Yeah. So do you, when these new promotions pop up, say they're changing the game, say they're going to do all this new stuff and pay the fighters more and all that, we saw it with Triller, we now see it with the GFL, it seems to happen fairly regularly. Do you just not even pay any attention to it at this point?
None. That's why I don't know a lot about it. Literally none. I don't look at, obviously anywhere where these guys can go and make money either on their way up or on their way down is a great thing. But I don't even pay attention to any of that stuff anymore.
Thank you. Congratulations on the victory. I'm curious, did you see, is this fight play out the way you expected? Because I think even the broadcast team was a little caught off guard by how it seemed tentative that Pitbull was, and then he started to pick it up later. But it seems like maybe the bright lights got to him in the first round, and then in the later rounds he started to pick it up.
It didn't play out exactly the way I wanted, because the way that I was picturing it in my head was winning by KO in the first round. You guys saw one head kick that I really completely landed. I think I didn't got him like with full power, because he was like way too short distance from me, so I couldn't really develop the full power of the kick. But I was practicing on that kick a lot, and it was landing on everybody and on the gym. And I was able to land it here, but unfortunately I wasn't able to come out with the KO as I wanted. But we still were able to come out with a nice win.
And obviously in all of your fights, it's very kick heavy, but this fight in particular, it seems like almost every strike you threw was that high kicking or a kick to the body. Was this the game plan, to just rely heavily on those kicks, or during the fight you just realized like he doesn't really have anything for this, I'm going to keep using this?
He was really calm and collected there. He wanted me to do the mistake first, and my coach did the job of keep on reminding me to not do the mistake. He wanted me to go in first, you know, so he wanted to drag me in so he could attack me over the top. He wanted to attack me over the top of my jab, and he wanted to land that heavy right hand. He wasn't able to do that because I was able to completely stay in my distance.
Paddy, I think, look, there are people picking you to win this fight, but I don't know if anyone picked you to win it as decisively as you ended up doing so. I know you're your own critic, but I assume you have to be proud of that one.
Yeah, definitely. The game plan went perfect. Everything we've been training in the gym up until this point worked. Everything we said we were going to do, we done. And it was brilliant. I'm very happy with my performance.
Nice. As soon as you landed, I think it was a knee that blew his cheek open, right? Did you know, okay, beginning of the end here, right? There's very few fighters that can survive a shot like that and keep coming.
Yeah, I smell blood in the water and I've got proper killer instinct. But the one thing I did do is obviously I ran at him and started putting it on him, and then we'd spoke about it beforehand. A wounded animal is the most dangerous one. And you've seen it with Chandler before. When he's hurt, he swings wild and he catches people. So I thought, this is the time to take him down. This is the time to put him on his back and put a beating on him. And obviously I went for the submission at first, but after watching Charles fighting for 5 rounds, that's why Charles never got the finish. He was hunting a submission. And I just knew I could TKO him on the floor with ground and pound.
I assume there are probably times before this in your career that you would not have been that smart and made that choice. Is it cool to go in there and sort of after the fact be able to realize, well, I can see my own growth. I'm seeing growth in fights with better IQ.
Yeah, I think I've got the best fight IQ in the game, other than John Jones. I think I've got the best fight IQ in the game. I don't think anyone's got better fight IQ than me. And I couldn't wait to throw a 12-6 elbow.
You'd had a long time out of the cage and you want to be active. So to go in there, have the performance you did, how happy are you feeling right now?
Yeah, man, it hasn't properly settled in yet, to be quite honest. I'm looking forward to watching back the fight. I got to just go through the phone and, obviously fight of the night. Everyone's pretty impressed with it. So I felt like I could have done more out there. So I'm always my hardest critic, but everyone seems to be pretty happy. So I'll watch back and properly soak it up. But it's pretty cool, man. To come back and. Yeah, it's pretty crazy, really. So it just hasn't properly set in yet.
Having been out of the cage for a little bit of time, not even that long, but to be out for a long time for you, what's the emotions going back in there, right? Coming off 2 losses, you're going in there, there's all these questions about you. As you're making the walk into the cage, is there even a doubt or confidence? Or are you going in there being like, oh, no, it's time to remind myself? Do you take a few minutes to get ready? What's going through your mind in there?
Just got a job to do. Even though... I'm coming off the 2 losses. I didn't really care about that, going over there and just remembering what we want to do, what he's going to want to do, and just stick to it. Just remember a couple of the things that we worked on. That was going through my head. While I was in there, I felt like he was there to be hit. I could have done a lot more. I could have done more, but I just wouldn't pull the trigger as much as I'd like, even though there was shots where I could just, stick out a jab and it was right there. I could have done probably a lot more. So I'm my hardest critic. I'll watch it back, and then we'll see. But obviously, everyone going to count you out. Is he done? Obviously I took some shots as well, so I didn't go lights out. So that's good. A lot of people probably thinking that's what would have happened. So I guess I'm glad I got to feel that and bounce back from a bit of adversity.